Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by Pokemon Trainer J. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates and rumours. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a voice message or emailing us at the links in the show notes.
Additional intel available.
Hello agents and welcome to episode 86 of the Ingress Insights podcast. This episode will be a little different given the recent news we've had about Niantic and Scopely, so there won't be like Ingress news, Anomaly news, Wayfarer news. That'll be in the next episode, and then what I'll do is schedule that for a little bit earlier than usual. I'll probably record them both at the same time, but I thought it was important to go through the news that we've had and my thoughts on it, both as an Ingress player, Wayfarer and Wayfarer ambassador, and any other bits that come to mind as well. So first of all, I'm going to read through Niantic's statement, and then we'll get through Scopely's, Ingresses, and maybe Paradox next.
Hey, this is Sim, Global Product Marketing Lead for Paradox, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
On the 12th of March 2025, Niantic put up a new post on their news site, blog site, and it was titled Niantic's Next Chapter, introducing a new home for Niantic games and a new future for Niantic Spatial Inc. Today we're announcing changes at Niantic that will set us on a bold new course. Nearly a decade ago we spun out as a small team from Google with a bold vision to use technology to overlay the world with rich digital experiences. Our goal to inspire people to explore their surroundings and foster real world connections, especially at a time when relationships are becoming increasingly digital. To bring this mission and technology to life, we started building games. Today, more than 100 million people play our games annually, with more than 1 billion friendly connections made across the world. People have discovered their neighbourhoods, explored new places, and moved more than 30 billion miles. They've also come together at our live events, where everyone is a participant, not just a spectator, contributing over $1 billion in economic impact to the cities that host them. As we grew, the company naturally evolved along two complementary paths. One focused on creating games and bringing them to the world, and the other dedicated to advancing augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and geospatial technology. Meanwhile, the rapid progress in AI reinforces our belief in the future of geospatial computing to unlock new possibilities for both consumer experiences and enterprise applications. At the same time, we remain committed to creating forever games that will last for generations. To achieve these goals, we are making two major announcements today. First, for Niantic Inc., we have agreed and reached an agreement with Scopely, a world leader in mobile games, to acquire Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, Monster Hunter Now, and the incredible teams working on these experiences for $3.5 billion from Scopely, with an additional $350 million of cash from Niantic being distributed as part of the deal, yielding a total value of approximately $3.85 billion for Niantic equity shareholders. Scopely's focus on building and operating incredible live services, its exceptional experience working with the world's biggest and most beloved intellectual property, and care for its player communities and game-making teams make it the perfect fit for our games. Our game team has exciting long-term roadmaps that they will continue to build upon as part of Scopely. This partnership ensures that our games have the long-term support they need to be forever games that will endure for future generations. Players can expect the games, apps, services, and events they know and love to continue to receive Scopely's ongoing investment, driven by the same teams that have always created these experiences. You can read more about the transaction on the Scopely blog that I'll go through in a moment, and then there's a message from Ed Wu, the head of Pokemon Go as well. Second, we are spinning off our pioneering geospatial AI business into a new company, Niantic Spatial Inc., enabling it to accelerate and scale even more rapidly. Led by John Hankey, Niantic Spatial will be funded with $250 million worth of capital, including $200 million from Niantic's balance sheet and a $50 million investment from Scopely. All of Niantic's original investors will continue to be shareholders of Niantic Spatial. Niantic Spatial's goal is to lead the future of geospatial AI by building spatial intelligence that helps people better understand, navigate, and engage with the physical world. Niantic Spatial is powered by a third-generation digital map that captures the content of the world at a level of fidelity never before achieved, and enables both humans and machines to understand it in ways never before possible. This is part of the connective tissue that will enable AI to meaningfully understand and interact with the physical world, not the digital world. Last year, we introduced the Niantic Spatial Platform, a milestone in our geospatial efforts. This comprehensive suite integrates spatial computing, extended reality, geographic information systems, and artificial intelligence to create immersive experiences that seamlessly blend the digital and physical worlds with centimetre level precision. Designed for diverse industry applications, it enhances manufacturing, warehousing, logistics, construction, tourism, entertainment, and education by enabling precise tracking, AR-guided navigation, and real-time 3D spatial visualization. Our visual positioning system, VPS, and computer vision stack already power gaming experiences for millions in Pokemon Go, Ingress, and Peridot. Scaniverse, which uses breakthrough Gaussian splatting technology for more vibrant, accurate, and faster rendering 3D models, serves hundreds of thousands of users monthly. Through real-world development, Niantic Spatial Platform has evolved from a consumer technology into an enterprise-grade solution, delivering high-fidelity scans, precise positioning, and AR visualizations with centimeter-level accuracy. Niantic Spatial is developing a large geospatial model, a world model powered by large-scale machine learning that enables people and machines to understand and navigate the physical world. This model enhances spatial reasoning in large language models, LLMs, by providing a spatially grounded and semantically rich understanding of real-world locations. Built on a proprietary database of over 30 billion posed images, it delivers an unparalleled foundation for geospatial AI, enabling a deeper contextual understanding of the real world. Niantic Spatial will continue to own and operate our other real-world AR games, Ingress Prime and Peridot, as best-in-class applications of the geospatial platform. We're looking forward to sharing more updates over the coming month as our games and platform businesses embark on their new futures. The transaction is subject to customary closing conditions and completion of regulatory review. The deal is expected to close in 2025. The transaction has been approved by the board of directors of both Niantic and Scopely. That was a lot of information, but I'm not quite done yet. I'm going to get through all the information and then get through my thoughts at the end. So I'm going to move on to Scopely's announcements that's in parallel as well. Scopely also did their announcement on the 12th of March. Theirs was titled Scopely to acquire Niantic Game Business, which includes Pokemon Go, one of the most successful mobile games of all time. Acquisition will welcome Niantic's entire game development teams, beloved games Pokemon Go, Pikmin Blue and Monster Hunter Now, and companion apps and services Campfire and Wayfarer to Scopely's diverse video game portfolio, highlighting the company's ongoing commitment to community-driven social experiences. The Niantic Games business delights over 30 million monthly active players and drove more than $1 billion worth of revenue in 2024. Pokemon Go continues to be a global sensation, ranking as a top 10 mobile game every year since its launch nearly a decade ago, with 100 million plus unique players in 2024. Combined portfolio to create one of the largest global player communities in the world, with over 500 million players in 2024 alone. There's some bits about the deal, but I'm going to skip over that because I already mentioned it in the previous one. As one of the largest, fastest growing companies in mobile games, Scopely is renowned for its highly social experiences that bring people together and make life better through play. The company is always evolving digital playgrounds from Monopoly Go to Stumble Guys to Star Trek Fleet Command, Marvel Strike Force and more, remain part of players' lives for years on end. This acquisition signals Scopely's ongoing commitment to and passion for play by further investing in beloved games with deeply engaged communities around the world. Next bit is from Tim O'Brien, the Chief Revenue Officer and board member of Scopely. Scopely has always focused on cultivating meaningful communities through a shared love of play, and the Niantic Games organisation is one of the best in the world at this endeavour. We're extremely inspired by what the team has built over the last decade, delivering innovative experiences to captivate a vast, enduring global audience and get people out in the real world. We look forward to further accelerating the team's creativity through our partnership. Few games in the world have delivered the scale and longevity of Pokemon Go, which reached over 100 million players just last year. The experience also stands apart for its unique ability to foster in-person connections, with Pokemon Go live events attracting millions of attendees. After spending time with the Niantic team, it quickly became clear that this organisation shares that inclination to create industry-leading outcomes and exceptional player experiences. We look forward to a bright future ahead. Then in the next section, they do list out some of the other games on there and how many people play, bits like that. I won't go through all those stats quite yet. One important bit I did want to highlight from here that wasn't mentioned in Niantic's post was Campfire and Wayfarer. The Scopely blog says the social companion apps and services, drive deep engagement across Niantic games. Campfire connects local player communities to real-world gameplay, fostering in real-life relationships. Wayfarer enables players to map new locations for their favourite Niantic games, directly shaping their adventures in the games they love. These apps represent Niantic's innovative approach to location-based gaming and highlight the team's drive to continue elevating the player experience. In 2024 alone, 6 million plus people checked in person to meet up via Campfire. The Wayfarer community has added more than 11.5 million new Wayspot locations to Niantic games since its 2019 launch. I kind of forgot that PR existed and there would have been a lot of some more added since then, but never mind, we'll skip over that bit, I suppose. There's a quote here from John Hankey, founder and CEO of Niantic. Niantic games have always been a bridge to connect people and inspire exploration. I'm confident they will continue to do so as part of Scopely. Scopely shares our focus on building and operating incredible live services, has exceptional experience working with the world's biggest and most beloved intellectual properties, and cares deeply about its player communities and game making teams. I firmly believe this partnership is great for our players and is the best way to ensure that our games have the long-term support and investment needed to be forever games that will endure for future generations. That's about it that's of note in the Scopely blog post, so I'll go for a bit more information and we'll now get into Ingress's post, because they obviously weren't mentioned in these ones, apart from being part of Niantic Spatial, so they have their own post. You'll be thankful to know, agents, that Ingress's own post is a lot shorter. They wrote, Niantic has reached an agreement for Scopely to acquire Niantic's Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom and Monster Hunter Now games. To learn more, see our announcement that I've read out already. For Ingress, our agents already know that Ingress is not just a game, it's a global community. Ingress will continue to be owned and operated by a new startup, Niantic Spatial, and the Enlightened and Resistance will continue their battle for global control using the Ingress scanner. Our already announced Plus Data XM anomalies, global challenges and mission days will continue as planned. Thank you for your continued support over the last 12 years of Ingress. There are still many more adventures on foot to embark on, mind units to capture, and portals to explore. To Ingress forever, the Ingress team. And then finally, because I've had Asim and Jess on the podcast, it would feel weird not to do Peridot's one, which again is quite short, and then I'll get into some thoughts on it. Peridot's post is also quite short, so be thankful for that too. Don't have to listen to me talk about it for too long. Their post was remaining by your side. Dear keepers, our friends at Pokemon Go, Monster Hunter Now and Pikmin Bloom found a long-term home with Scopely, a leading mobile games company. However, we're going on a new adventure. Dots will stay with the team that created them, a newly created company, Niantic Spatial. As Dots have explored your world through your mobile phone camera in Peridot, your Snap spectacles in Peridot Beyond, your MetaQuest 3 and Apple Vision Pro in Hello Dot will remain by your side. We're grateful for the adventure we've had with you all so far, and we can't wait to bring even more whimsy to you through the delightfully immersive Peridot dimension. Thanks so much for being part of the great community. We truly appreciate your support and are excited for the journey to continue. That's all of the announcements, so I'm going to get through some thoughts next.
This is Jessica Jung, lead producer of Peridot, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
Right, that was a lot of information all at once, so apologies for that, but I want to get through it all before getting into my kind of rambling thoughts on it. I kind of can't believe it happened because it was a bit of a rumour that didn't really have much basis originally, and then obviously now it has happened. Part of me not believing it was the fact that the the Wayfarer team had recruited a new round of Wayfarer ambassadors, so I wouldn't have thought that would be happening if there was going to be a sale. I say sale, but the word partnership is used quite a lot in the press releases, so I don't think it's a full sale, if that makes sense. It is obviously money is being exchanged, but it sounds like there's still ways in which the teams can work together. So if the Ingress team needed something, they could speak with Scopely and their former colleagues that are now employed by Scopely and get things done there. Obviously, one of the communication channels we have for Ingress is Campfire. That's the only official space now that the forum's closed down. And now with Campfire being owned by Scopely, I'm not sure what happens to the Ingress chat and the Peridot chats and anything to do with Campfire on there. I'm also not sure what happens regarding Wayfarer because that's moving under Scopely. And obviously we do nominations, reviews via Ingress. So will I still be able to submit nominations in Ingress and then will they go through Scopely reviews? Or will it be disconnected entirely and the map will be static? That'd be a bit crap, really. I'm also curious as to what happens regarding Wayfarer challenges and the OPR Live badge. Because obviously that recently changed so that we could earn that via the Wayfarer challenges instead of going to the events, getting things reviewed. And then even then, if we went back to the original thing, I don't know how that would work because, again, they'd be reviewed under Scopely systems, not Niantic Spatial systems. I'm glad that Ingress is still obviously going on and kicking. It seems like it's got a decent amount of investment into it, so maybe they'll be able to do a bit more, hire some more people. I did see a message from Brian Rose that he didn't know necessarily where the Niantic Spatial office was going to be. So I assume they'll look for new offices. Maybe they'll have bigger space and say get more people. But maybe it'll be the same kind of teams. Maybe we'll have slimmed down events for a bit whilst they figure out what's going on. It's important to note that they only mentioned the plus Theta XM anomalies were going ahead. They didn't mention the ones for the next season. That might be because they didn't want to name it, or because things might have to change and shift a little bit. There's also in my head the question of a Niantic ID, because obviously you log in with that and it's shared across Pokemon Go, Pikmin Blue, Monster Hunter Now, Ingress. How that works and whether that will be part of the partnership that you can use the Niantic ID in Scopely games. As mentioned, I've got some concerns about Wayfarer. My time as a Wayfarer ambassador is pretty much finished now, so I don't know whether the new group will still stick around, then they'll be under Scopely, whether it will still be Niantic Tintino or whether it will be Scopely Tintino, and then obviously what happens with the forums for Wayfarer and Pikmin Bloom, do they still keep them around? Do we maybe get a new Ingress forum now that there's a separate thing under Niantic Spatial? There's lots of questions basically and no answers. I don't think there will be answers for a few months at least, because obviously they've got to wait for the sale to go through and then figure out everything from there. I guess with any of these kind of mergers, they've got to figure out who's going under Niantic Spatial, who's going under Scopely, because it may be that you're on the Pokemon Go team but you do some work for Ingress, or the other way around, and then ultimately where does your contract lie? So yeah, lots of confusion, lots of questions, and as I say, no answers really. I know people are also concerned about Scopely being a bit more pay to win with their games and how that might affect other games like Monster Hunter, Pikmin. I've played a handful of Scopeless games, and I think I played Marvel Strike Force for a little bit till I got bored, and I also played Looney Tunes World of Mayhem, I think that's what it's called, after I played Future Worlds of Tomorrow, which is a Jam City game. But after that closed down, most of the players on that subreddit went and played the Looney Tunes game, so I was playing that for a little while just to see what it was like. I think that's still on my phone, but I've not looked at it for a while. I did also, over the past few days, download Monopoly Go to see what that was all about. It's not really my game so far. It's a bit boring. It reminds me of the Coin Master game that I think I played on another thing just to earn some coins or gems or whatever premium currency it was. And that was really, really dull for me. But if it's your thing, that's totally fine. So far, the Monopoly Go thing didn't seem too intrusive. It was only when I ran out of roles, it showed me like 3 adverts for things I could buy before I could just close the game off and carry on. So maybe we'll get that level of intrusivity. But then at the same time, maybe Niantic can push back a bit on it in their teams and say, no, we know Pokemon Go works this way, Monster Hunter Now works this way, and keep it a bit more tidy. As for Ingress staying with Niantic Spatial, I don't know what the overall plan is going to be there, whether it gives them a bit more creative freedom or whether they could have done things anyway. Could they have done things like the FitRep rewards, maybe now that can come in, or key capsules that people keep asking for? Maybe there were approvals that they couldn't get before to be able to do that, or get the resource to do that they may now have available. We also obviously have the Ingress Player Ambassador program that was mentioned. Whether that's still happening, I'm not sure now that with the changes on there. I don't know, really. Just lots of unknown. But I thought I'd go through the announcements and just get my thoughts out on it. I really, really don't want the Ingress map to be static and entirely disconnected from Wayfarer. I enjoy nominating a lot of portals and getting things proved. Seeing new things pop up on the map is always really great. And say we have a lot of badges that kind of drive that on hacking unique portals and getting unique drone hacks, as well as the OPR Live and Recon badges. So I'm hoping that'll be part of the partnership that carries on, that Ingress agents will still be able to do nominations and reviews. But really, no clue at the minute. I wish I did know what was going on, but I bet there's lots of employees at both Niantic and Scopely that also don't know what's going on yet. So I'd rather let those folks sort things out, get their heads all sorted, and then come to us with, I don't know, an FAQ or something that says this is what's happening, this is how it works. I would expect that the campfire groups will go, and then they'll obviously try and push the Pokemon Go groups more within Campfire, as was always the thing with Campfire. It was made for getting raids in Pokemon Go, and everything else got kind of tacked on. But yeah, that's all of my thoughts. Now, if you've got any, you can share those on Spotify in the comments, or you can send me an email. I'll stick in the outro, which I need to change to say Niantic Spatial Game somewhere, I guess, but I'd have to sort out getting that re-recorded. But that's all from me for this episode. Like I say, there'll be the regular episode probably a few days later after this one that will go through the actual news, and it won't mention the takeover, merger, partnership, whatever this is. I thought I'd just get it all in one episode separately so you could listen to that one. Thanks for listening, agents. Hope you have a great Sunday. Happy hacking, and let's see how things are at Niantic Spatial Inc. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can do that on a few channels. So on Threads under the name ingress.insights, on Instagram under the name ingress.insights as well. Twitter/X, which posts episodes of the podcast, is under Ingress Insights, no dot in that one. And you can also watch these episodes on YouTube under Ingress Insights Podcast. You can send us a voice message by visiting the podcaster's Spotify page. And finally, you can buy Ingress Insights merch, such as mugs, pins, t-shirts, by going to freepublic.com/user/ingress-insights. And on there, you'll see all the designs that we've got listed at the moment. There are some new ones that will be coming up at some point soon, but you can buy your Ingress Insights mug, hats, t-shirts, tote bags, anything like that you want. Thank you again for listening. Hope you tune in next week. If you do like the show, please do rate it on the podcast service you're listening to. I look forward to speaking with you all about Ingress again.
Intel package transferred.